Okay, so today I'll be talking about gender roles in Iran. Okay, so I'm talking about the generational gender role between Satrapi's grandmother and her mother and her. And so in 1979 there was a revolution, and this is kind of in Satrapi's grandmother's time. So before the revolution, it was much more free. You weren't forced to wear the veil. Women had a lot more freedom and power. Then the theocracy suspends the Family Protection Act. So the Family Protection Act is what gives all the rights to the woman of how she has the kids and the divorce and the money and her inheritance. But because they suspended it, she no longer can get her inheritance. She has no say over the kids after a divorce. She cannot get them. And then, but the good thing, there are some good things after the revolution, because education becomes a lot more common in women. And it's also 50-50 in college, and it's actually a little bit more, so there are actually more women in college. And the government after this tries to launch a family planning to try to decrease the birth rate. But so they'll have signs of trying to decrease the birth rate, but right next to that they have how big families give you bigger happiness. So although they're saying this because of the pressure of the UN, it's not, they actually don't want that to happen. Okay, so after this revolution, we had to take some steps back, Iran did. And they had this president, who I'm not going to pronounce his name because that would be bad, and he limited the amount of hours women could work. So now they can't work any more than 36 hours a week, and they cannot work night shifts because this is taking away from the men's work, and they have the priority and everything. And then there's the new president, and they say that there's hope for women in Iran now because he's much more lenient towards them giving education. He's trying to give them jobs and more power, political power. But there's only so much we can do because the Constitution clearly is based on the Quran, and it says that women can't work or do anything like that. So you can only get to a certain point for women before you have to change the Constitution. And it's a very oppressed society, so changing the Constitution is nearly impossible. Okay, so this is, again, I'm going to talk about the impedimental Constitution, and it cannot be changed by the president. So their new president, however good he may be, he can only do so much, and it's based on the Sharia law.